The reason I started playing PDRL was through Team Costum UK. Played PDRL Select, which I met Tommy Pouncey, and then he dragged me down to Leeds, and I've been here ever since.
One of the other teammates that we've got down at Leeds, Scott Gobin, obviously he was England captain for the World Cup, and you know, one of the best players in the league. And I was out with him in a pub where we live, and he kind of talked me into it while we were having a beer, and I kind of drunkenly said, yeah, I'll come down and give it a go. Yeah, he picked me up the next day, brought me down to training. I turned up in my jeans and a nice jacket, and then ended up doing a full training session after one of the other players, Tommy, literally grabbed me by the scruff at neck and said, come here, we want you in this team. So yeah, that's what got me in.
So I had a season ticket at Leeds Rhinos for about 7 years. Came through, I'd not actually heard that much about PDRL, but during COVID, I donated my season ticket back to the club. Got invited to a dinner off the back of that, and Simon Brown, our strength and conditioning coach, was at the dinner, and he did a speech about PDRL, and off the back of that, I wondered if I could get involved, reached out to Ben Berry, who was team manager at the time, and then just came down to a training session and loved it since then.
I saw a tweet online, so I was one of the first ever members of the Leeds Rhinos PDRL. I saw a tweet around Christmas time asking for disabled rugby players. At that point in my life, I didn't see myself as disabled, but 6 months before, I'd just been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which is a degenerative disease which I had a lot of trouble coming to terms with. And I felt a good way to deal with that was with something I already knew. So I wanted to come to, and I found out about PDRL, and I wanted to come and learn about disability and also help some of the lads play. That was my idea. And but what it turned out to be was me learning about disability and me coming to terms with my diagnosis.
I've got a vision impairment, so I've got something called macular dystrophy. So I've actually got about less than 15% vision. I've got no central vision whatsoever, and I've only got limited peripheral vision, so I can't actually see the ball very much at all, to be honest, when I'm playing. I play on instinct and on the communication from my teammates, so they tell me when they're passing the ball to me, they tell me which direction to run, literally guiding me around the field while trying to play a game of rugby. So you can imagine how chaotic that can be sometimes, but the development of the league since I've been playing for 4 years now, and the development of these guys to be able to guide me around and help other players that need a little bit of different support as well. It's, like I said, it's a learning journey, and it's always developing, and it's something that I'm really proud to be a part of.
So my main disability is that I had an acquired brain injury in 2015. I acquired it on a school cross-country run. I had a heart attack on that run. I had CPR for about half an hour, and obviously brought back to life.
I've always loved rugby. I played when I was younger, but due to my eyesight and my condition, I just struggled to play team sports as I felt like I would let the team down. So getting involved in PDRL is massive because of the changes in some of the rules. It meant that I could come back and play a team sport again and be part of a team.
I had a stroke when I was young, and I was able to play sport but not at a very good level, and I met all the lads from Leeds Rhinos PDRL and how accepting they were and how amazing everybody is playing PDRL. I just thought this is the sport for me.
I had my surgery, I fell ill and I had my surgery in my mid-20s, quite a long recovery period, and it's left me with a stoma, which is part of your small intestine that is permanently protruding out of my stomach. To play contact sport, to do my job, even at the gym I wear, it's like a waistband, and you sort of similar to a cricket box goes over the top to prevent any injuries to it, basically, because it's a very delicate part of your body. For a long time, so during my illness, the only way to describe the pain was like having a belly full of broken glass. I was so used to being in pain. I distinctly remember one of the last times my wife was driving me to the hospital before I had my surgery, and she literally had to slow the car to a crawl over speed bumps because I just couldn't take the pain. So even then, after having the surgery and clearing it up, I still have that sort of psychological effect of protecting my abdomen, shying away from stuff, and now I've had 2 major surgeries. I'm effectively It's ulcerative colitis I had. I'm effectively cured of ulcerative colitis, but it also means that I now have this bag for the rest of my life. But when the alternative was barely being able to survive, but to not live my life, the bag has basically saved my life, and through it I've met Team Colostomy UK, and now I've met the Rhinos PDRL.
The positive impact on my life, wow, I mean, where do I start? So before I started playing PDRL, I was just about to drop out of uni. I'd just done my first year at a University of Bradford. I was just about to drop out. I was ready to call it quits. I wasn't doing very well socially. I was about 5 or 6 stone heavier than what I am now. And then I joined PDRL in 2019, and yeah, it's brought me on this incredible journey of finishing my university degree with a first. I got a first at master's level as well. I'm just about to start my PhD after doing a second master's. So, you know, my academic career has gone from, you know, different level of strengths, you know what I mean? It's gone to a complete new level, something that I wasn't anticipating at all after believing that I was going to finish and drop out after my first year. Socially, it's just opened me up to this world of possibilities when I think about the mates that I've got now, not just at Leeds, you know, meeting up with at the festivals with all the different teams and people coming up to you and saying, oh, how are you doing, mate, and all this. It's absolutely fantastic to have that sense of community and bring that social aspect into the game. And it's brought me closer to my family as well, you know, like my dad and my brother are both sporting people, you know, and for me, not playing sport growing up was something that I felt a little bit different, I felt a little bit like the other. But then when I started playing PDRL, you know, I could start having those sporting conversations with my dad and my brother, and it brought me closer to them. So it's impacted all parts of my life. PDRL's fingerprints are just all over my life at the minute.
It's been a big impact on my life. I became a bit of a recluse while I was getting a diagnosis. It took me, I think it was between 9 and 10 years to get a diagnosis, and I felt like I just lived at the hospital. I was either at work and the hospital, and that was it. Wasn't really around anyone, didn't talk to anyone. So being back round a rugby team, having a laugh at training, match days, it was massive impact on my life.
One of the fantastic things about this is that in this team there are 20 other lads who have been in similar situations, not probably exactly the same, but they've all dealt with similar feelings, and having that resource is incredibly valuable. And especially in friends, we feel like we're all in the same boat at times. It's given me a purpose again. So I was really concerned about becoming disabled, being told you are disabled in a doctor's meeting. It's a bit of a shock to the system. And having those fears of becoming disabled and what I thought disabled people were was really traumatic for me. And one of the positive things that it showed me is that disabled people are just normal people, and that sounds quite ridiculous to say, but it's not the opinion I had before I was told it. You know, I saw disabled people as quite shy people who didn't try or do anything, and I quickly learned the opposite of that. PDRL has showed me that disabled people can do contact sports, and we can play as hard as any amateur side. You know, And that's been one of the good things for me, is understanding that what I knew was wrong.
It's just helped me put things into perspective. It's helped me come to terms with what happened to me, and it's helped me realise that, you know, there is a life after an accident and after acquiring a disability.
When I came down to Leeds Rhinos PDRL for the first time and meet all these amazing lads, I thought, I put my own disability in perspective and thought, you know, there are plenty of other lads here that have similar or maybe different disabilities, and they don't moan about it and they don't cry about it. So why do I have to moan and cry about it and think, oh, woe is me? We all get on with it. We all have a fantastic time playing rugby, and we all really, really enjoy it.
The best thing about playing PDRL is the people that you get to play with. You know, it's incredible playing for your club. It's incredible pulling on that Leeds jersey and turning up to training at the excellent facilities that we have here. Honestly, I'd play with these group of lads if we were playing for a local team, even if we weren't playing for a team at all, if we were just a group of people just getting together to play rugby league, the sport that we love, because they've brought me out my shell and they've taken me to new heights. So it's definitely the people that are involved.
Yeah, so playing with other people with disabilities, other players with disabilities, you can see, you know, no matter what obstacles are in the way, you can see how they can overcome them, and it just shows you, it tells me that I can do the same. So no matter how down I'm feeling or how nervous I am before a game because I feel like I'm going to let someone down, I know that watching the others and being around such an amazing team, how much it's helped me. But it's not even just on the rugby pitch, it's just in life in general. I'm just a better person because of Leeds Rhinos PDRL.
The best thing about playing PDRL is the amazing facilities that we have, the amazing stadiums that we get to play in, and playing with a group of lads who really care for you and really want to play with you. It's really opened my eyes up to what team sports can do, what people can achieve with a disability, and it's certainly something that I would say anybody with a disability to come down and give it a try, because it's changed my life massively. It can hopefully change someone's life out there too.
Yeah, to wear this badge is unbelievable. Getting to the events we get invited to now and the stadiums we get to play in, it's just the sort of thing you never dreamed you'd be able to do as a kid. So having that chance to do that, and the fact that sport's growing and those opportunities just going to get more and more, it's absolutely brilliant. I just wish it had been around 10 years before.
Again, it's been around the boys, turning up on a Monday, you know, having a laugh and a joke before training, you know, a laugh and a joke before training, and then that sort of like camaraderie in the changing room before the game, before we go out and, you know, go into battle on match day.
The junior PDRL is huge. They're the people who are going to take my shirt, and other people, so they're the sort of the fresh blood for us hopefully being a successful team in the future.
So I made my debut last year, halfway through the season. So I was still recovering, unfortunately, from an unrelated shoulder injury. I'd fractured and dislocated my shoulder. So I started off playing red shorts for the first couple of games whilst I was still recovering. I was still recovering from another major surgery to do with my disability. The Oddsall Festival was my first proper game back in playing full contact normal shorts, which I hadn't told my wife about. She was very upset afterwards to see that I wasn't wearing red shorts. And then going into the final, I managed to score the winning try in Golden Point extra time, which was just an unbelievable feeling, going from in my mid-20s thinking I'll never play rugby again or a contact sport again, to being on the pitch, and I can't remember how many views it had by the end, but it's over 60,000 people have watched our team and me score the winning try in the final. And I'm sure people have seen the video where everyone piles on me at the end in celebration. Is a memory I think I'll treasure for the rest of my life.